Hey there. In this video, I'm going to talk about the stuff I like. Yesterday, I ran through a huge list out of my handy dandy notebook of all the things that I dislike. Not all the things, just a brainstorm list. I'm sure there's more things than just what I said yesterday that I don't like or that drive me crazy. I don't think I even talked much about like work and business and online things. It was just kind of general life stuff. So as I create my what I stand for and what I stand against statements, those will be with respect to my business. They're not going to be with respect to my life. These are just my brainstorm lists from my stories inventory book because I like to be a little organized and have a little bit of knowledge and information. Even though I like to talk up the cuff and ramble in my videos, I actually have in the past taken a little bit of time, and only a little, in this notebook to consider my stories and my experiences and things I like and don't like. And part of that exercise was to do a brainstorm dump of what I like and what I don't like. So I'm just going to share my random list of what I like because it's helping me to clarify what I'm here to represent. What do I share with the world? Why do I share it? Who am I? Who the heck is a pajama grandma? Where did she come from? Why is she the pajama? Why am I the pajama grandma? Why do I like certain things? Why do I not like certain things? I like being comfortable. Comfortable physically is a very important thing for me to tap into because it helps me to have the energy that I need to live my life, create the businesses I'm creating. So comfort, my definition of comfort, which involves me in my pajamas or comfortable clothes, is a very important part of what makes it possible for me to function and exist. So comfy clothes and pajamas. I don't even have them on the list, but I do now. Let me put down my coffee, grab my notebook and my handy dandy magnifying glass, and let's fly through this list. There's going to be, these aren't categorized or in any certain order. They're a brainstorm list. So there'll be some, not necessarily repeats, but jumping back and forth. For example, I love nature. So when I say on here, I like kids, I put only cool kids, mine. But I like kids. I actually really love children and like kids. I always have liked kids. I never was really a babysitter when I was young because I was always too busy doing other things and having other jobs, but I always have liked children. I find them, the older I get, the more fascinating I find children. I think that their energy and how they learn is just amazing. I love nature. Pretty much everything in nature except for I said spiders and snakes. I don't like them yesterday. And there's certain kind of bugs that really creep me out. But for the most part, I like things in nature. As long as they're not trying to eat me or bite me, I pretty much love things in nature. I love positive people. People with positive energy and good vibrations. I love to be around them. We all love to be around people that make us feel good. And that comes from inside them, the energy that they're radiating. I love movies. I mentioned I don't like TV, but I do love movies because I can control what I'm watching. Apparently, I like to be in control. Yeah, who knew? I actually can say that I like exercise now. Now, if you would have asked me 8 years ago, I would have laughed and scoffed at you and said, ha, exercise, who has time for that? I'm too busy working. And that didn't work out very well for me. So now I actually have trained my brain to like exercise. I live for, not totally, but I love going to the park or going out in nature and spending time walking out in nature every day. Not so much in the winter when it's 30 below, but even sometimes in the winter, I like to bundle up and get outside and just appreciate the snowflakes and the crisp, cold air and my frozen eyelashes and, you know, my breathing that's freezing on my lip, things like that. Always very entertaining, but it's just one of those experiences that is fun to experience different things. I love experiencing different things. I love animals, most pets. Dogs, cats, again, most pets that aren't snakes or spiders. Like, I don't want a tarantula as a pet. I don't want snakes as a pet. I don't really even want any lizardy type creepy crawly stuff as pets. But otherwise, I love most pets. Love horses, love, I find some animals super fascinating. I think llamas are fascinating. I think there's so many animals and there's so many things we can learn from animals and the way they behave and interact with one another in nature that can help us to be better human beings. I like doing crafty, creative things. I like creating things and making things. I love making things out of nothing. I love making things out of trash. Right behind me is I made it out of different colored yarn. It's actually a wall hanging type artistic piece that I couldn't see when I had some eye challenges in the past. And so I made all these little pom-pom things, cut them open, and I put them on this board in this really cool rug type wall hanging format. It's just a creative, nothing fun thing, but it really turned out beautiful. I love doing things like that. I love creating things like that. I'm not a good drawer or painter, but I love doing those things. I think that's why I like coloring, except my eyes with the magnifying glass make it tough to color other people's creations or within the lines, which I was never much of a color in the line kind of gal anyway. I love beautiful places and beautiful things. Again, anything in nature that's beautiful. There's a waterfall right by my house, one of my favorite places to go to. That means flowers, rainbows, clouds, stars, sunshine. I've been fascinated with my son-in-law and daughter lately with mushrooms. I've taken thousands of pictures of mushrooms over the last few years. I took a bunch yesterday when I was at the state park because I just think they're so fun and fascinating. And there's so many different varieties and colors. It's almost as many of them as there are flowers. I think there might be more, actually. I think I heard that on a documentary or something, that there's more fungi and mushroom type things than there are even flowers. You know, I love butterflies and moths. I love capturing or seeing. And they're so hard to capture in photographs, but I love trying to chase them and get good pictures of them. I like making things. I love cooking and baking. I have been a cooker and baker my entire life. I had a food business for 35 years, but before that, even as a young child, I would come home from school and I would make cookies after school for my sisters, and I would do things like that every night. And I became one of those. I used to read cookbooks for fun. I still, every once in a while, will pick up a cookbook and just read through it for fun, because I'm one of those people that don't cook with recipes, because I've made so many things and cooked so long that I just throw things together. And I know what goes together. I like that. And I like being able to do that. I always wanted to do like a pantry challenge where I would go into someone's house and no matter what they have, I would create a great meal out of whatever they have in the fridge or the pantry. I was going to do a pantry challenge just for the fun of it. I actually like doing laundry. I know that's weird, but only if it's in my house. I hate going to the laundromat, but if I can do laundry whenever I want to do laundry, I don't mind doing laundry. I think it's one of those easy, no-brain tasks for me, so I kind of like doing laundry. Now remember, I hate ironing, but I like doing laundry. Maybe I like doing laundry so I can get the stuff out of the dryer quick and hang it up so I don't have to iron it. I love grocery shopping. Maybe it's my love of cooking and all of the new foods that are always coming out in the market. It's the only kind of shopping I like, but I do like to get groceries and components to create, because I get to combine things I like to do. I like to cook, I like to bake, I like to create things, and shopping allows me to get different ingredients that I can create awesome things to eat. We got to eat every day, at least 3 times a day, so that is good that I like that. I love living in the country. I have never lived in a big city. I've lived in a very small town until I was 8. I lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in the city for 5 years when I was first starting my career out of college. But otherwise, I have never lived in the city limits. I lived in Milwaukee when I went to college. I lived in Madison when I went to college. I lived in, otherwise I've always lived out in the country, like not far from a city, but out in the country or in the suburbs where we have grass, we have trees, we have nature, we have sunshine, we have, blizzards, but we also have fresh air and clean, crisp water, and we don't have a lot of people or a lot of crime, and that is where I want to live. That's where I like to live. So I love living in the country. I love personal growth and development. I've been studying personal growth and development, not in high school probably. I didn't discover it until I was in college, and actually I was sick in Valley, Nebraska, and I came across a Tony Robbins late night infomercial. And that's at least the first time I remember learning about personal development and being fascinated by it. And that started my then lifelong journey from that point forward. And since I'm 58, let's say I was 21, that's a pretty long journey. 37 years, that's a long time to be studying and learning and growing and developing myself as a human being. Because I think we're all here to experience life as we uniquely are, and how only we can experience it, and to be the best human being we can possibly be. I love a good story. I love books. I love to read. I'll admit, reading for me is a bit challenging now with the magnifying glass, but I still read every day. I suppose most people would have quit reading, but I'm like, no, I got to grow. I got to learn. I love, and reading is the gateway to the universe. I think it's the gateway to the world, because we get all different people's perspectives on how they see the world. And when we are able to see the world, how other people see the world, that helps us to grow and expand. So I love a good story. I love a good book. I will say most of the books I read are not stories. They're actually nonfiction and, outsourcing, teamwork, leadership, personal development, Think and Grow Rich. I've got Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi, Dream 100 by Dana Derrick sitting here. I've got The Emotion Thesaurus. I love that book. It's very amazing because it allows me to tap into different emotions. I do firmly believe that readers are leaders, and that the more emotions and the more words we can tap into, so the better and bigger our vocabulary, the better leaders we are, because it gives us more emotions to tap into of our own and other people's, to help share our message and make the world a better place, because I'm all about making the world a better place. I love pretty nails. I don't know, these are actually pretty nails. They're called cat eye. I love them. But I like pretty nails. I think it's fun to get my nails done. And maybe because I was a nail biter for like 30 years and I had no nails, like down to the quick. They were so bad because that was my way of dealing with stress. And I finally overcame that ridiculous habit and grew my nails. And the technology today with the gel strengthener has made it possible, even in the food industry, I could actually have beautiful fingernails. These are my own nails. They've been my own nails for, oh wow, I guess I'm 58, so probably going on 15 years, probably 15 years. I've been very proud of my nails. One of my little pleasures, I love going and getting my nails done. I used to joke that they piped something in the air that made me drowsy and like nod off, because there's something about my nail salon that makes me sleepy and relaxed when I go in there. So it's a wonderful, some people like to go get massages. I like to go get my nails done. But then I hate pedicures. Remember I said that yesterday? I don't like people touching my feet, but I love having my nails done. I love multimedia art. Art with different textures and different substances. I love that. I find it fascinating and so creative, so interesting the way people will mix different mediums together and create beautiful works of art. I love photography. I am not a photographer. My daughter is. I actually stink at photography, probably because my eyes are so bad. I just take a picture, and I bet half my pictures, my daughter's like, that's really blurry. And I'm like, no, I don't. It looked good to me when I snapped the picture on my phone. I joke that my phone is my camera. I call it my camera all the time. I actually just got a new cell phone, and there were 40,000 some pictures on my old cell phone that I had to transfer. 40,000 in just the last probably 3 years I've had that phone. I guess I like taking pictures. I love to travel, but I also love being home. So there's this weird pull in me. I love to travel, see new beautiful places, go places, but I also love to have my home base. I like to have a place that I can call home, where my stuff is, because remember, I'm a collector. I just like to have that home, but I also like to go and explore new things. I love to meet new people. I love to see new cultures and how different people live and experience the world, because I know that I've led a sheltered life. I grew up in small town America in a very safe environment, and I haven't really experienced a whole lot of things outside of that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to. I don't want to experience or live in a city or be where there's crime or where people can harm one another or hurt one another or just mean. I don't want to be around that. But I also know that it's important to experience other things and not just live in my own little bubble. I love fires. Again, that's kind of a natural thing. I don't want house fires, but I love like fires in nature, not in nature, fires in a fire pit, camping, or campfires, or fires in the fire pit, or fires in the fireplace. I love them. I think it's so relaxing and therapeutic just to watch the flames. I love rocks. I have loved rocks ever since I was a little girl. When people go places and travel, when I travel, I get rocks. Instead of buying a bunch of junky stuff, I collect rocks. I used to be a rock polisher, and my grandmother always made jewelry. I love rocks. I think rocks are beautiful and fascinating, and they've been around forever. They've been around for so long that it's really fun to think about what was the world like when this rock first came into being, when this rock first formed. What has this rock, if this rock could talk, what would this rock have seen and experienced? I guess that's why I like rocks, but I like rocks. I like, and this is interesting, I like getting my bearings in advance. So say I'm going to an event in a new city that I've never been to before. I used to travel a lot for my corporate jobs, my corporate life. I always liked to get there a day ahead so I could scope out, find out where were the meetings, where was the building, so I wouldn't be late. I like to plan. I like to get places a little early. I like to be there early. I'm an early riser. I'm a morning person. I want to be up before everybody else. I want to be there early, before everybody else. A lot of it's because I want to get a good seat so I can actually see and experience it from the front, because it's kind of like college. If I don't sit in the front, I'm not going to pay attention. I'm going to get distracted by what's going on around me. I want to be toward the front so I can really get the most out of the event and experience and have the best experience I possibly can. I like seeing the big picture. I like looking at my life and the world and situations. I like taking a step back and looking at what's really going on. Not what's just going on the surface, not what people are just saying, but what's behind what they're saying. What are they really communicating? What are they saying with their body language? Does that match what they're saying? I find it fascinating, and I'm super curious about how people communicate and share things that they're sharing. I love trinkets and little things. I am fascinated by small things, little miniature versions of things. I absolutely love them. My daughter got my granddaughter, her niece, a little bitty, one of those tents that you'll see at different stores. She got her a mini tent that she can use for her dolls. It's the mini version of the real big tent, but the ones they use for sales displays. She got her one of those, and I just adore it. My granddaughter adores it too, but I love any mini scaled down version of things. Models, I like model things. Model trains, model planes, model anything, model cars. I'm trying to look around and see if I have any little things. Of course, I have a lot of little things around me. Little Care Bears. Now, they make giant stuffed Care Bears. My granddaughter's got a big Wish Bear, but I love this little bitty Friendship Bear. So little things. I carry little things in my purse. Little trinkets and little things in my purse. I love flying in airplanes. I love it. Even though I've had some terrible flights and some very turbulent, scary moments, I still love flying. I think it's exciting. I love being able to get from point A to point B in the fastest way possible. Although I also love driving and camping in a camper. The older I get, the less uncomfortable I want to be. So I'm not really interested in tent camping or laying on the ground anymore at my age. Now, when I was younger, I kind of went through the progression of camping, the luxury of camping, and I'm to the point where it's RV or nothing. I'm not to the it has to be a hotel yet, because I like being out in nature, but I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to be wet. I don't want to be soggy. I want to be dry when I'm sleeping, and I want to be in a air-conditioned or heated environment, and I want my shower in my own bathroom and all those things, I guess. But I love driving places and seeing the world in America. When we went on cruises before, my ex-husband and I would rent a car whenever we got off at a port. We would rent a car and we would see as much as we could see of the location that we were going to in the time that we were allotted, because it's so much more fascinating to see the real countryside, see how people really live, than going on the canned tours that they have you go on cruise ships. I love cruises, actually. I wouldn't have thought, but I think cruises are absolutely fascinating vacations. They're fun. You get to see a lot of places and see places that you might want to go back to again. I love writing. I don't know if people like my writing style, but I love to write. I've written a couple of books. I write in notebooks and journals all the time, and so I'm sure there are a couple more books coming from me as I decide what it is that I really want to share with the world. My first book was 100% for me. It was after my sudden cardiac arrest, and it was for my recovery. It is a tool that I used to help me recover from that situation and actually still be here talking to you today. My next book will be more for other people than just for me. I love writing, though. And again, I already said I like meeting new people. And I like having experiences up to and including the experience I just mentioned. I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died. And how most people would look at that is, oh my God, ain't that awful? That's terrible. But I will admit that that gave me permission to live my life on my own terms, live my life in my pajamas, be who I uniquely am. Whether the world likes it or not, it doesn't matter. I get to like what I like. You get to like what you like. And together, we all make the world a fascinating, expansive, amazing, interesting place. So that's my list of the brainstorm list. And I did this list probably 2 years ago when I was flying, as a matter of fact, to Boise, Idaho. I created this list, both the like and dislike list, because it was part of me doing an exercise called creating your story inventory. And I'm like, well, how can I go through and create my stories inventory if I don't even know what I like and don't like? If I've never, and I don't know, I'm sure sometime in the past I've written down things that I like or don't like, things that I believe or don't believe, things that I stand for or don't stand for. But I've never really ever, I don't know how many people have sat down and made an entire list of the things that you like or don't like. I think it's important because it doesn't matter. If we don't like something, we don't like something. And if it's not hurting us or other people, we don't have to like it. If we do like something and it's not hurting other people, we can like whatever we want to like, right? But I will put the caveat that it cannot harm other living things or other human beings, especially. And, you know, those things to me, that's what constitutes true evil. And I stand against evil. There you go. One thing I stand against. That's it. Today, what is she working on besides this? I'm doing my what do I stand for, what do I stand against. I'm doing my 30-day challenge I'm reviewing 30 different super successful, award-winning business owner and entrepreneur strategies of what they would do if they lost everything. I'm doing another one of those a day. I'm doing one a day ahead. I've already reviewed and listened and taken notes on all of them, but I go back the day before I'm doing the 10-minute summary the next day, and I review their written plan. I haven't been rewatching the video, but I'm thinking I might rewatch the interview video starting now, because I think it gives me a summarized version. They take their 30-day plan, break it down to about a 20 to 40-minute video interview, and then I break that down, but not just the video. I break down the written plan and the video interview down to under 10-minute summary, and then what's the one action step that my folks can do to use and put to work today to help supersize their business. So I'm working on that today. I don't have any interviews today. I'm pretty excited about that. So I can actually work on a couple of things that I want to work on. I want to create a content piece on Facebook Live for my Supersize Your Business audience. Not sure what that's going to be today. I will think of what is one of their biggest problems, and I will share the solution for free on a Facebook Live today. I might also knock out a webinar. I haven't practiced my webinars lately, and I'm feeling like I want to change my secrets and test that and see if those secrets resonate with my audience better than secrets that I've used in the past. It's a continually improving process. Did I mention I love continuous learning and lifelong learning? Continuous improvement and lifelong learning. Those are part of my blood. I believe everything that we do, we can do faster, easier, better, more efficiently, more effectively. We just haven't discovered how to do that yet. So we always want to be on the lookout for how can I do this better? How can I be a better human being? How can I learn more? How can I experience the world in a way that contributes to humanity versus subtracting from humanity? So that's it. That's what I'm up to today. Go out, make it a fantastic day. And I will, of course, see you tomorrow with day 253 of What's She Up To Now. What will I be up to tomorrow? Only you. No, only I know for sure. Bye.